Time to head to the voicemail of Truth and Reason. This one about the Browns head coach, Kevin Stefanski.
Just watching this year's Browns, the reason I believe Stefanski play calling and the record shows, what happens is a lot of the coaches got some read on them from last year when they did really good. Coaches then got some sort of papers on them, something to, to read on them so that their teams could pick up on it. The last year they had nothing on Stefanski. They didn't know what he was going to do. But once the next following year is, they had something on him, so they can maneuver and adjust their defense to what he's doing. And to his offense, it's very predictable. I'm sitting back watching, and I can detect what call was made, run call, pass call, so other teams can adjust to what he was doing. Besides the other things, the quarterback issues, the line issues. But that was basically the half of the focus of the downfall of the offense.
So what about it, Scott Petrak? Did the rest of the league catch up to him? Kevin Stefanski said there was going to be tweaks and no 2 years are the same. I remember him saying that. Too predictable?
Maybe. I don't put all of it on Kevin Stefanski, but I certainly give some of the blame / responsibility to Stefanski as a play caller, as the guy designing the offense. The passing game wasn't good enough, and it wasn't, just Baker Mayfield. It wasn't just the receivers. I'm not sure the concepts were good enough. Now, again, that's tough to judge. If your quarterback's making all the great throws, maybe your calls look better, right? And I can think of games where I thought the calls were good. Green Bay, I thought the calls were good, and Baker just did not deliver. But, if you look at the course of a 17-game season, there were plenty of issues with Kevin Stefanski. I think he would admit that. I think there's plenty of room to self-scout and evaluate and say, okay, this needs to be better. Does he use 13 personnel, the 3 tight ends? Does he use that too much? Can you run it better out of 3 receiver sets? Like main questions, like big foundational questions. I think he thinks he knows the answer, but after a difficult season, you want to re-examine everything. So I think he'll be fine. I think he's smart enough. I think his staff is good enough that they'll figure things out. But I do think there's some truth to year 2, opponents and defenses made adjustments and figured some stuff out.